Your life as every drug-addicted emperor in history. You sit on a throne, gold under you, poison somewhere in your cup, and a habit you can't shake in front of an entire empire. Servants bow, armies march on your word, and none of it matters once the craving hits. 10 crowns across 3 continents and 2,000 years, 10 different highs, and every single one of them ends the exact same way. Let's go back and live every one of them, starting with the man who ruled the most powerful empire on Earth, while nobody around him even realized he was hooked. You're Marcus Aurelius, Rome, 167 AD. To the world, you're the philosopher emperor, the calm one, the man writing quiet notebooks about virtue while plague corpses pile up in the streets outside your window. Your stomach's been wrecked for years by some illness nobody can name, and the pain never fully leaves. So every single morning, before you touch a single scroll, your physician hands you a thick paste called theriac. 70 ingredients folded together, bitter on the tongue, and one of them is poppy extract, opium. You swallow it like medicine because that's exactly what everyone around you insists it is. Years pass this way. Wars come and go on the frontier. Your wife's rumored affairs don't even make you blink anymore, not a flicker. Your friend Fronto writes to you about the dreamy comfort of the mixture, half joking that a god cooked it up himself. Historians, centuries from now, will argue for decades over whether that legendary calm was hard-won wisdom or just the drug doing the thinking for you the whole time. You never find out which. You die still reaching for your morning spoonful, the most composed addict the empire ever produced, and nobody around you ever dares call it what it actually is. Fast forward almost 700 years. You're Michael III of Byzantium, crowned emperor before you could even walk, raised by a mother who ran the empire while you played in the palace halls. By the time you're old enough to rule for real, your own court doesn't even bother whispering behind your back anymore. They call you the drunkard to your face and laugh about it later over their own cups. You race chariots down the aisle of a church because it makes you feel alive in a way ruling never does. You hand imperial titles to a peasant wrestler named Basil because he keeps you laughing through the wine, and because loyalty feels simpler when you're this deep in the bottle. Everyone around you sees exactly where this is heading. Everyone except you. One night, deep in your cups, guard completely down, laughing at something that won't matter in an hour, Basil's men slip quietly into your bedchamber. You never see the blade coming. You never sober up again. Now it's 1574, and you're Sultan Selim II, Ottoman ruler, and history hands you a nickname that follows you into every textbook from here on. Selim the Sot. Your father built the greatest empire on earth from nothing. You spend yours face down in a wine cup, letting your grand vizier handle the actual governing while you disappear into your harem for days at a time. You love the vintage from Cyprus so much that you launch an entire naval war just to lock down the supply for good. You take the island. You lose almost your whole navy doing it, thousands of sailors gone in a single afternoon at Lepanto. You shrug and keep drinking anyway, because the wine's already yours now. One winter night, stumbling through a half-finished bathhouse, drunk past the point of caring where your feet land, you slip on wet marble. Your skull cracks against the stone floor. That's the death of a sultan. Not a battlefield, a bathroom. 50 years later, you're Murad IV, crowned sultan at 11 years old, and you've grown into a ruler obsessed with order. You outlaw alcohol, tobacco, and coffee across your entire empire in one sweep. Execution for anyone caught with a cup in their hand or a pipe between their lips. Except you. At night, you slip out in disguise, sword in hand, and prowl the streets enforcing your own law on strangers, while the bodies pile up behind you. Then you go home to drink yourself unconscious behind palace walls nobody's allowed to question. The hypocrisy never once bothers you. Nothing does anymore. 27 years old, and your liver simply gives out under all of it. Cirrhosis kills the man who executed his own people for the exact habit hiding under his own roof the entire time. Your brother inherits everything next, and history remembers him as Ibrahim the Mad. You spent your entire childhood locked inside a windowless cage inside the palace, certain every single day that your brother would finally send the executioners for you, like he did for every other prince before you. When the throne finally lands in your lap at 24, something in you breaks loose all at once. You binge on rare furs lining entire rooms floor to ceiling, an endless supply of women, imported stimulants, anything strong enough to drown out the years you can't get back. The excess turns violent fast. Whole harems drowned on a jealous whim, fortunes drained for nothing. It costs you your throne within 8 years. 10 days later, strangled with a bowstring while your own mother watches from a window, it costs you your life, too. Rewind everything now, back beyond every emperor in this list, to 120 BC. You're Mithridates VI, king of Pontus on the Black Sea, and you've spent your entire life terrified of the exact poison that killed your own father when you were 11. So you start eating poison yourself, on purpose, every single morning. Arsenic, hemlock, snake venom, a pinch more each week, building your body into something no assassin's cup can touch. You invent your own antidote for it, dozens of ingredients ground into a paste, and Roman physicians later load that same recipe with heavy opium long after you're gone. Decades of this regimen leave you physically unable to function without your daily poison and antidote both running through you at once. You fight Rome itself for 30 straight years and slaughter 80,000 of its citizens in a single day when the war turns your way. But your own son turns on you in the end, and, cornered with nothing left, you finally try to poison yourself to die on your own terms. It doesn't work. Decades of immunity built layer by layer means no poison on earth can finish you anymore. You have to beg a soldier to run you through with a sword instead, done in by the one thing you never trained your body to survive. Now jump forward to India, 1605. You're Jahangir now, 4th Mughal emperor, and you drink opium dissolved straight into your wine, cup after cup, morning through midnight, exactly the way your own memoir casually admits it in its own pages. As a young prince, your father even locked you up for 10 days trying to break the habit. And it worked. For a while. It never lasts. You even joke, in your own handwriting, that you traded your kingdom for a woman's love and a glass of wine. It barely reads like a joke. Your wife Noor Jahan quietly takes over running the government because you're too far under to notice or to care. Her name stamped on coins, while yours fades from meetings. 22 years on the throne, and you die on the road home from your beloved Kashmir, too weak now even for the opium that once ran your days. One valley short, one binge too many. Jump forward 2 centuries now, and shift entirely across the world to China. You're the Daoguang Emperor, and long before you ever wore the crown, you were already smoking opium as a prince, alone in your rooms, telling anyone who'd listen how the pipe cleared your mind and sharpened your eyes. By the time you inherit the throne in 1820, opium isn't just your private habit anymore. It's flooding your entire empire. Smuggled in by British traders by the ton, millions of your own subjects hooked exactly the way you once were. You finally order the crackdown, sending your official Lin Zishu to seize and destroy tens of thousands of chests of it in one province. The hypocrisy sits there in plain sight, and nobody in your court dares say it out loud. An emperor who once savored the same smoke, now hanging dealers for selling it. The British don't take the seizure quietly. Their gunships arrive, and your armies, riddled with addicts of their own, crumble against them. You lose the war. You lose Hong Kong, and you lose your empire's silver reserves along with it. You die in 1850, having never fully kicked the habit that shaped you, watching the first cracks open in a dynasty that won't survive another 60 years. Back to Rome now, 190 AD. You're Commodus, son of the same Marcus Aurelius who started this whole story, and you'd genuinely rather be a gladiator than an emperor. Wine keeps the fantasy alive in your head night after night. You decide you're the reincarnation of Hercules and start fighting in the arena yourself, dressed the part, crowds forced to cheer. You rename the entire city of Rome after yourself, because why not? You own it, and nobody dares argue. Your inner circle finally decides a man this drunk on both wine and power is too dangerous to keep breathing. They slip poison into your food first. It's too slow, your body fighting it off through the night. A wrestler named Narcissus finishes what the poison started, in your own bath, while the water's still warm around you.